Was developed, and it was needed for the merchants to spend the night somewhere. So this trade was very developed. It is since today. It is so far. So this Han is the name for the Turkish hotel from 18th century. On your right hand side you can see Mekteb. Mekteb is a religious school. It is placed in the mosque, in fact. Also you can notice from the appearance of the local population, they differ a lot from the other they have a special rounded shape at the end. You can see those with the red caps on. So those tombs are Muslim tombs. Here they are. As bigger the doorways, as it means that the significance of the person in the community, in the part of the society was bigger. And the women tombs are very, very modest, without any special symbols, and they're also not allowed. It's not allowed for the women to attend the funeral. So men are the only participants in the funeral. You can't see women on the funeral. There are several to survive somehow. So they stayed in the monastery for the next 300 years, all up to 1690. But after 1690, they were definitely forced to leave the monastery because Serbian people and also Serbian monks, they helped during the conflict between Turkish and Austria, famous Turkish-Austria war conflict. So they helped a lot to Austrians, they offered the help to Austrians. So after this conflict was finished, Serbian people, they were all forced to leave their properties, their houses, everything they possess, and their monasteries and churches as well. So in 1690, the great movement of the Serbian people had happened. They moved towards north, and they were led by the Arsenije Čarnojević. He was a famous leader. So the monks of the Sopoćani monastery also gathered with them. They couldn't survive anymore. Here we are, Sopoćani monastery in front of us. As you can see, all of the churches and monasteries are really on the outstanding places. So they were forced to leave, and for next 240 years, this monastery was completely abandoned. It was completely empty, and in the year of the Serbian movement in 1690, Turks came and they took the roof away the lead roof which was put in the 13th century. They took the roof away and they destroyed the walls. So for 240 years this monastery, which has the outstanding collection of fresco paintings, was without any roof, and this extremely valuable collection was exposed to the rain, snow, and most of the frescoes. Whose monastery, Gradac, we passed by. So he wanted to have a family monument where he is going to be burned, and his mother is also buried there, and his father's remains were there for a time. Later on, the monks took the remains of his father because they were afraid that they will attract the Turks to come here and to destroy the monastery, because in Serbian people
So, right, that'll do.
so you can see what was all the walls were completely damaged, and also so after 200 dynasty, his wife with two children, two boys, Dragutin and Milutin, they are introduced to the Holy Virgin, who has Christ on her lap. So King Boris I, Queen Kapaonik from Anjou dynasty, and Dragutin and Milutin, their sons. King Urus's mother. So she's lying on her bed, on her deathbed, and Angel is above her. Angel is carrying the baby in his hand. So this is the representation, the symbol of her pure soul. He will very soon take the baby up to the heavens. Next to him is King Urus I, crying after his mother. Beside him, his sons Dragutin and Milutin, and a figure in a white dress is Queen Helen. She's also crying after the Dandolo, King Urus's mother. She was Dandolo, the daughter of the Duke Giovanni Dandolo from Venice, from Italy. So one line of the naming dynasty is represented by the Holy Virgin to the Jesus Christ. And under the representation, according to tradition, the tomb where the remains of the founder are still extant. So here is the place where King Urus I was buried.
exceptional beauty. It's called Nativity of the Christ. You can see that the Christ, two young ladies, they're two young girls, they're preparing water for, you can see the girl in white dress, she's testing the temperature of the water. They're preparing the bath for the Christ. In the upper part, you can see on the left side the Holy Joseph. He turned grey overnight. He was so concerned. On the right side, Holy Virgin, she's resting on her bed. On the right part of the composition, you can see two kings carrying their presents to the Holy Virgin. They are led by the angel. The angel is going to show them the Virgin and Christ. And in the lower zone, two shepherds. Shepherds were first to know that the Christ was born. On the other side, under the dome, you can see the dome was destroyed, but under the dome, the first what you can see is the inscription on the blue background. It was inscribed precisely here when the church was built, and also the name of the founder. But unfortunately, the part of the year was damaged. Under the dome, in each corner, at the end of these four squares, four pictures, four representations of the evangelists at the moment of writing the Gospels: Marco, Matthew, Luca, and John. And according to the Gospel of Apostle Matthew, Evangelist Matthew, here is the representation of two Marys kneeling in front of the apparition of the Christ. They were so fascinated with his apparition. This is really outstanding fresco. It's rather far from here. It can't be easily seen. But faces of two Marys and expression on their faces is really of exceptional beauty. Here is John the Baptist, the first who recognized Christ. And also, for the first time here, Saint Sava, the first, this standing figure, which you can see from 50 years or 40 years later. So here is for the first time one Serbian art. On the upper part, communion of the parts which were shown on the picture. It is supposed that they are optical instruments, but it's still not known if they are optical instruments which for curing or
in which Stefan Emil was imprisoned, and the remains of the fortress on the hill. On your right hand side, the modern hotel, which is called Verbeck, as a reminiscent as a combination of the modern style and the old Oriental style. And on your left hand side, Pansion Han once again. It is the place where merchants used to sleep together under the same roof with the horses which were overloaded by the gods. So they used to come straight into the Khan together with horses, and they would just leave the horses on the ground floor, and they would sleep under the same roof on the first floor. On the right hand side over the bridge, it's the old part of the town called Bazaar, trading center, and 17th century fortress in the middle of the town. In front of us is the modern part of the town with the more modern buildings.
It is considered that this church was founded as early as in 9th century, and that the founder of this church was Apostle Tit, who was the follower of the Apostle Peter and Apostle Pavle, or Paul. So that's the reason the church is so called, because it is was dedicated to his teachers. Church is of special importance because, as I said, from the 9th all up to 12th century, it was the one and the only one. So this church, in front of this church, for example, Stefan Nemanja had held all the councils I mentioned in the Churches and Monastery. This is the church in which it was decided that the Orthodoxy should be accepted as the main religion. Also that he is going to renounce his throne in the favor of his youngest son, Stefan, the first crown. Also, this is the church when it was decided that Bogumils should be expelled. Bogumils at the time were the religion which was not accepted as official one. Only two religions existed at the time. Christianity was separated into the Catholic and Orthodox Church.